Okay.
Don't start until you get done. Okay?
Ready?
Yeah.
You want to try her again?
Okay. Can I take your order, please?
In Building with Earth Bags, we discovered our family thrived creatively and grew stronger by working side by side. We welcome you to be part of our family for this week's adventure. Last time we found out that the push rods on the engine on the well drilling rig were bent, and so I guess now we're going to find out why they're bent. Back at it with the white van. Well, actually, red van. And all the push rods. Do you see it? How bent it is? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Did I count that right? Yep. I gotta remove all of the rods. So that's all of these guys. Gotta pull them all out. They are bent. Bent. If I've ever seen bent. I got some of the rods removed. These bends I had to bend to get them out. That's the actual bend that was in it, if you can believe that. I found out that the push rod's bent because all the valves were actually stuck, and they were all gummed up from what I believe is like old gasoline. That's kind of, I forget what to call it, but like resined gasoline. And I think that's what jammed up the valves, of course, which caused the push rods to bend. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna remove the rockers just by pulling the bolts and pulling that off. That'll be a lot easier to do that than to try to go about this another way. Very bent rods. Very, very bent. Okay, so now all the rods are pulled out. Now the next step is to break loose the valves. I'm gonna turn the engine over until I can see the lifters go up. Then I know that there's enough room for me to hammer on these guys without the piston getting in the way. I put some oil on each one of these valve stems, and I'm going to now just tap on them with a hammer to loosen them up. They are all broke loose across the board and are ready for the push rods. What I did notice was, and I'm thinking that this now is maybe intake or exhaust, each one of these have this little guy on here, a little cap. And I'm not too sure what that cap's supposed to do. Definitely does something. Maybe it allows the lifter to let more intake in, or maybe more exhaust out, or maybe that's just how they designed this. I'm not really too sure. But we're gonna go ahead and keep those caps on there because they're obviously important. Everything's good to go, everything's oiled and ready. I went ahead and tightened down each one of them as well. So the main work is done. Now it's just kind of finish up work. So here's our valve cover, and here is the push rod cover. And we're gonna go ahead and paint them red. And this color is really close to matching. It's almost exact. Look at that nice GMC. But the first coat's done. All right, it is all painted. Now it's time to put it on. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the push rod cover first. Now here comes the job of not letting that silicone that's on the edge there get into too much. It's nice putting on a nice clean part like this. It's not very often you get to do that. Let me just take a little bit look-see up here. Look at this little guy, huh? Isn't he small? Ooh, he's so big. Oh. He's like a bat. I believe he is a kind of moth. Really big moth. Anyway, back to the rig. I made a really big boo-boo. So there's a pulley, this piece right here, and it screws onto this section to tighten the belt. Well, once you get it tightened on here, there's a little bolt right here, this bolt right here, and you tighten the bolt down just so that it seats this ring in there so it doesn't come undone. Well, I was tightening the bolt, and I'm like, geez, I don't know if the bolt's tight enough, so I just kept going, and I figured it will probably let me know. Well, it let me know. I cracked it. I'm not really sure what to do. I guess maybe weld it and then grind it flat again, maybe. Maybe I can ask Garen and see what he thinks. I didn't even think this thing could break. This thing's so tankish, everything's so thick and metally and, you know, hunk along. So I talked with Garen to see how I could fix the pulley belt tensioner. He said that maybe he could weld it. Looks like he's got a plan, so I'm gonna head up there. Hopefully we're gonna fix it, or he's gonna fix it, most likely. He said, bring a bucket of sand, and I guess I'm getting a bucket of sand. Okay then. Look at all this green. Oh, that's just fantastic. All the rain. Woo-hoo! Looks so nice. All right, you made it. Hi, Petrol. Hi, Petrol. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Where's Diesel? Where's Diesel? There he is. Hi, Diesel. Hi, Diesel. Hi, guys. Hi. Hey! I bring the part and a bucket of sand.
Oh, perfect.
I'm unsure what the sand's for, though.
It's just for me. I just needed some sand.
You're not supposed to weld cast iron. Do you think it matters?
Hand weld cast iron, it just is not as strong as the thing. Like it'll like, I mean that's why we do the sand to help cool it down.
I would not have even thought about that.
Gee.
Now it's official, I really do have a jar of dirt.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah.
We made her home. All right, I got my jar of dirt. So I'll sand it down and get it ready. All cleaned up.
The pulley is in. Oh yeah, working good.
Valve cover time. Woo woo! It's very hot out and the truck is thirsty. More water.
This is Dad. Watch Bryson put in water. Looks like he got it full.
Mark this one. Here, I'll show you.
It's all the way there, all the way there. It's somewhere like right there. Okay.
All right, so I got the spark plugs put back in. The timing looked right. The rotor was pointing at the #1 spark plug. The initial timing on the engine is set. Probably have to do a more fine adjustment later on, probably with the timing light and things like this. Let's see how the engine starts for right now.
I had other plans, but I feel like I need to be here for this momentous occasion, so I might as well just sit here and look pretty.
And you definitely are. Choke. Gas. On. Give it a second while the gas flows.
Digging a hole to China. Ooh, fun fact. I thought as a child, because I had heard that so many times, so you digging a hole to China, you know, every time you dig a hole. I thought you could genuinely dig a hole to China. And I tried. Didn't get too far, but I did.
All right, ready?
Yep. I'm not smelling gas to the carburetor.
I was gonna ask him, Bryson, did you put gas in it? But I thought, nah, that's a stupid question. And then he goes, I wonder if there's gas in it. I was like, dang it, I should have said something.
Are you getting some gas there, Brian?
Yeah, we're getting some gas. I'm not promoting this, but I have to work on my Bronco, and I've got to drain the tank. So what better way than to get some gas?
Are you sure this is really your car?
No, I'm not. Yeah.
So why do you have one of those?
One of these things?
Yes.
It's for actually putting oil into transmissions underneath trucks. Should I just siphon a good 10 gallons off?
We're back.
It's a 23-gallon tank, and I have to pull out all of it because I've got to replace the fuel pump. This is like totally bad. You need to like blur this whole thing. I'm done siphoning. It's time to fill. I'll get her going.
Don't mind the pile of wood you kept by the exhaust.
It runs. Ignore the smoke, flames, and other. That actually is just oil burning on the exhaust. Now I just got to check fluids in both the differential and transmission, and if I can verify those are good, I shift this thing in gear and try her.
Yes. Congratulations.
That pretty much wraps up the project for right here. I'm really stoked that the engine is running. It sounds beautiful. So now the next step will actually be getting this thing to roll. And it needs a few things before we can really get it rolling. So I've spent a lot of time searching for a silly little fill plug for the differential, which sounds like crazy, but if you look at it, not only is it covered in like 1.5 inches of grease on top of the whole thing, the book that I have doesn't tell me where the fill plug is at. Really? I know it sounds silly, but I cannot find it. I've looked. If you know, please help. Last episode, Garen and Ellie continued work on their van conversion, starting to look really exciting. And if you missed it, definitely go check that out. There is a new t-shirt design in the shop on the well drilling rig. It looks really awesome. There is a 15% off in shop right now on everything, starting tomorrow to Tuesday. So definitely go get your hands on some of that goodies over there. Check us out on the podcast. It'll be coming out here on Monday. And then on Wednesday, we're gonna have another weekly peek. So stay tuned, lots of exciting stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. And of course, as always, thank you for being a part of our family. And we're gonna see you on Monday for that podcast. Bye.
Thank you.
I was down here poking around trying to find the oil fill plug, and I happened to find this beautiful butter knife. Are you fueling gassy? Because I know my Bronco is.
I feel like Bryson's really siphoning off this particular scene.
If you want to siphon yourself a new shirt, check out the t-shirt merch. We're fine tuning with like a... Do you want to know the science behind this?
The answer should always be no, unless you have 4 hours free.
Actually 5, but she's close enough.
Our family moved from the city to the country. Thanks for taking part in our adventure. We have new videos every Friday evening. If you would like to help us out, you can like this video, share it, subscribe, or support us on Patreon. See the links in the description.
Probably second some gas. You done?
What?
Are you done?
What? This is a first. This is the first. You've seen it here.
He's officially done.